Welcome back to the day. Today, we're diving deep into the emotional whirlwind surrounding Sammy Brady's latest return to Salem, and the accidental spoiler Alison Sweeney may have just dropped that has fans reeling. After months of speculation and quiet whispers, Alison Sweeney, the beloved actress behind the iconic and often chaotic Sammy Brady, has finally returned to the world of Days of Our Lives. But this time, her visit to Salem isn't fueled by scandal, deception, or revenge. It's far more heartbreaking. The character is back to mourn the loss of a man she spent years resenting, misunderstanding, and, in her own way, loving, John Black. And during a touching interview meant to celebrate this moment, Sweeney may have let slip a bombshell that could alter the trajectory of the show in an unforgettable way. The painful goodbye. Sammy faces John's death head-on in a candid conversation with TV Insider. Sweeney spoke openly about the emotional pull that drew her back to the series, both as a performer and as a longtime fan of Days of Our Lives. John Black, portrayed for decades by the late Drake Hogestyn, was not just another character in the sprawling DOOL universe. He was a cornerstone. His death, following the real-life passing of Hogestyn due to pancreatic cancer in September 2024, marks the end of an era. Sammy's return is timed with a significant and heartbreaking event, the aftermath of John's funeral. "I couldn't imagine not being a part of this," Sweeney shared tearfully. "Even though I wasn't part of the actual funeral taping, I needed Sammy to come back and feel that grief. It would have felt incomplete otherwise." Mother-daughter moments that transcend dialogue. One of the highlights of her return, according to Sweeney, is Sammy's reunion with her mother, Marlena Evans, played by the incomparable Deidre Hall. These two women, fierce and complex in their own ways, have always shared a bond that runs deeper than any feud or misunderstanding. "This is one of those mother-daughter moments where you don't really have to say anything," Sweeney revealed, hinting at a silent scene that speaks volumes through raw emotion and shared history. "It's about presence, about showing up, even when it's hard." The chemistry between Sweeney and Hall has always been electric, often fueling some of the most gut-wrenching and passionate scenes on the show. And this time, their interactions are layered with grief, nostalgia, and unspoken forgiveness. Sammy's guilt and growth. A new chapter begins throughout her turbulent history in Salem. Sammy has burned bridges, manipulated loved ones, and made enemies out of allies. But no relationship has been more complicated than the one she shared with John Black. For years, Sammy saw John as a threat, someone who she believed broke up her family and stole her mother's heart. "I've been so awful to him," Sweeney admitted. "The writers gave me some incredible material where Sammy actually starts to confront that darkness inside her." During a previous return, Sammy even mentioned she had begun therapy, a line that Sweeney says was not just a throwaway comment but a turning point. "That kind of self-reflection made me realize how toxic I had been to John. And now, we'll never have the chance to fully make peace." This moment marks a critical shift for Sammy Brady. It's no longer about chaos and vengeance. It's about healing and legacy. And fans may get to see a different version of her, one that's older, wiser, and full of regrets. Alison's accidental revelation, did she spoil a future twist? In what was supposed to be a heartfelt tribute to her co-star and friend Drake Hogestyn, Sweeney might have accidentally dropped a major spoiler during the interview. While speaking about Sammy's emotional growth, she let slip a curious line. "I was surprised when they told me where this storyline would lead. It's not what fans are expecting." The interviewer, pressing for details, received only a knowing smile and a quick deflection. But online fan forums exploded within hours of the interview going live. Was Alison referring to a major storyline twist involving John? Could he still be alive somehow? Or is someone impersonating him? Could there be a long-lost twin in play? An evil version of John, or even a secret child no one knew about? The Day's writers are known for bringing characters back from the dead and weaving convoluted but deliciously dramatic storylines. Could John's legacy continue in an unexpected way? A tribute to Drake Hogestyn, more than just a co-star. Sweeney didn't hold back when talking about Hogestyn, describing him as kind, professional, and an absolute joy to work with. Despite the rocky relationship their characters shared on screen, Sweeney revealed that off-camera, Hogestyn was a supportive mentor and a dear friend. He never missed an opportunity to be kind and considerate to everyone, she said. Even during long taping days, he'd check in on the younger actors, offer advice, or just sit and share stories. That's rare in this business. In many ways, her return to Days is not just for Sammy, it's for Drake. For the memories they created, the scenes they shared, and the fans who grew up watching their dynamic evolve from hatred to mutual respect. What's next for Sammy Brady? Rumors, theories, and wild speculation with Sweeney's return stirring up the fan base. Theories are flying across social media. Some believe this could be the beginning of a longer arc for Sammy, possibly involving her taking over as the new family matriarch. Others suspect that Alison's mention of a twist means Sammy will uncover a shocking secret tied to John's death, potentially setting off a mystery that reopens old wounds in Salem. Could Sammy discover that John's death wasn't natural? Might Stefano Di Mera or one of his many secret protégés be behind it? Could there be a hidden diary, a video message from John, or a long-buried secret that only Sammy can uncover? Final words. A homecoming full of heart. Sammy Brady's latest appearance isn't about scandal or chaos, it's about closure. And for Alison Sweeney, it's a full-circle moment. Salem is my second home, she said simply. It's in my blood. And for fans who followed her since the 90s, this return feels personal. It's not just about a character mourning a death, it's about an actress paying tribute to a friend, and a legacy being honored on screen and off. Whether this marks the end of Sammy's journey or the beginning of a surprising new chapter, one thing is clear: Alison Sweeney has once again brought raw emotion, depth, and passion to Salem, and we'll be watching every step of the way. Next, in the quiet corridors of Salem's hospital, tensions have been brewing like a storm on the horizon. At the center of this emotional tempest stands Julie Williams, a woman whose heart carries the weight of decades of love, loss, and unwavering loyalty. Her recent encounters with a newcomer named Kat Green have stirred up feelings so intense that even her closest friends are beginning to notice the profound effect this situation is having on her well-being. When grief becomes protective fury, Julie's distress runs deeper than simple dislike. It stems from a place of profound love and protection for those she holds dear. When she begins expressing her concerns about Kat, her words carry the sharp edge of someone who has witnessed too much heartbreak in her lifetime. The way she speaks about this woman isn't casual gossip, it's the passionate defense of a family matriarch who sees a threat to the sacred bonds that have been carefully rebuilt after devastating loss. Marlena Evans, ever the skilled psychiatrist and devoted friend, recognizes something troubling in Julie's demeanor. With the gentle precision of someone trained to read between the lines of human emotion, she observes that Julie's anxiety levels have escalated significantly since Kat's arrival in their lives. This isn't the usual Julie Williams concerns, this is something that has shaken her to her very core, transforming her natural protective instincts into something far more intense and consuming. The elevator incident. A symbol of deeper destruction. When Julie recounts the incident involving Kat and the elevator, her words paint a picture of chaos and disruption that goes far beyond mechanical failure. In Julie's eyes, this episode represents something much more significant, a metaphor for how Kat's presence seems to bring upheaval and instability to every situation she touches. The way Julie describes the scene, with dramatic flair befitting someone who has lived through countless soap opera-worthy moments in her own life, suggests that she views Kat as a destructive force that threatens the carefully maintained peace of their community. Marlena, drawing upon her years of experience helping people navigate complex emotional landscapes, gently suggests that Julie might be allowing her emotions to color her perception of events. This isn't a dismissal of Julie's concerns, but rather the caring intervention of a friend who recognizes when someone is spiraling into a state of heightened anxiety and anger that could ultimately prove harmful to their own well-being. Sacred bonds and eternal love. At the heart of Julie's passionate defense lies a belief system built upon the foundation of enduring love. When she speaks of Chad and Abigail's relationship, her voice carries the reverence typically reserved for the most sacred of vows. She draws parallels to the great love stories she has witnessed and experienced, her own decades-long marriage to Doug, Marlena's deep connection with John, relationships that have weathered storms, survived separations, and emerged stronger for their trials. For Julie, these aren't simply romantic relationships. They are testimonies to the power of true love to transcend even death itself. In her worldview, Chad remains Abigail's husband not just in the legal sense, but in the cosmic, eternal sense that binds souls together across time and space. This perspective, born from a lifetime of witnessing both the fragility and the incredible resilience of human connections, makes any threat to that sacred bond feel like an assault on the very foundation of love itself. The wisdom of moving forward. Marlena's response to Julie's emotional outpouring reflects the delicate balance between honoring the past and embracing the possibility of future happiness. Speaking with the gentle authority of someone who has guided countless individuals through the treacherous waters of grief and recovery, she acknowledges the beauty and permanence of the love that Chad and Abigail shared while simultaneously opening the door to the possibility of new beginnings. Her words about finding comfort in memories while moving forward represent a philosophy born from professional expertise and personal experience. Marlena understands that healing doesn't mean forgetting, and that opening one's heart to new love doesn't diminish the significance of what came before. This wisdom, however, can be difficult for those still raw with grief and protective instincts to accept. When Marlena suggests that Chad should be allowed to find love again, she's not dismissing the significance of his relationship with Abigail. Instead, she's advocating for the radical idea that the human heart has an infinite capacity for love, and that honoring one relationship doesn't preclude the possibility of another meaningful connection. The community's collective concern. The arrival of Chanel and Felicity at this crucial moment in the conversation adds another layer to the complex social dynamics at play. Their presence suggests that Julie's concerns about Kat aren't isolated worries but part of a broader community discussion about this mysterious newcomer and her place in their tightly knit social fabric. The observation about Kat's presence at the hospital when she's not scheduled to work raises questions that go beyond simple scheduling concerns. In a community where everyone knows everyone else's business, such anomalies become the subject of intense scrutiny and speculation. Is Kat's presence at the hospital a sign of dedication to her work, or does it suggest something more concerning about her motivations and intentions? Unexpected intimacy in crisis. The elevator scene that Julie finds so troubling takes on new meaning when viewed from a different perspective. What she sees as manipulation and opportunism might, from another angle, appear as two people finding unexpected comfort in a moment of shared vulnerability. The physical closeness forced upon Chad and Kat by the malfunctioning elevator creates an intimate space where pretenses fall away and genuine human connection becomes possible. Chad's gentle reassurance to Kat, his acknowledgement that while the situation itself might be crazy, their togetherness makes it more bearable, speaks to the fundamental human need for companionship in times of stress and uncertainty. The moment when the elevator shutters and they fall into each other's arms becomes a perfect metaphor for how unexpected circumstances can push people together in ways they never anticipated. The heart of the conflict. What emerges from this complex tapestry of emotions, relationships, and conflicting perspectives is a story that resonates with anyone who has ever struggled with the balance between protecting those they love and allowing them the freedom to choose their own path forward. Julie's intense reaction to Kat isn't born from malice but from a place of deep love and fierce loyalty. Her concerns, while perhaps exaggerated by her emotional state, stem from a genuine desire to protect Chad from potential heartbreak and to preserve the sacred memory of his relationship with Abigail. The tragedy of this situation lies not in any particular person's actions or intentions, but in the fundamental difficulty of navigating love, loss, and new beginnings in a world where every choice carries the weight of profound emotional consequences. Julie's struggle to accept the possibility of Chad finding love again reflects the universal challenge of watching someone we care about take risks with their heart, especially when that heart has already been broken by loss. As this drama continues to unfold in the hallways and elevators of Salem, it serves as a reminder that the human experience of love, in all its forms, remains as complex and challenging as ever, regardless of age or experience. The question that remains is whether understanding and compassion can ultimately bridge the gap between protective concern and the natural human desire for connection and happiness.